I'm Lyndon Dixon, joined with Ade Oladipo. Ade, bit of a crazy day. How you feeling?
Good, good. I mean, look, these AJ press conferences, you don't quite know what you're going to expect. I mean, Derek Chisora turns up and does craziness, but no, I mean, they're fun, right? I mean, I always know, I'm lucky to go to all the press conferences, and an AJ one, when you see all the media turning like this, there are questions about his superstardom. Is it waning? Is it dwindling a little bit? I don't think so. I think a lot of people still have interest in the AJ team.
Is Derek James the man to change AJ's career trajectory?
Good question. I guess the only real answer is we'll find out Saturday night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I thought Robert Garcia was. And you know the thing is about the Robert Garcia, not working, AJ was fighting Usyk. Do you know what I mean? So if it was Robert Garcia training AJ to fight Usyk, if it was Robert Garcia training AJ to fight Jermaine Franklin,
yeah,
I think he'll get the job done. So I think, Derek James has got an easier assignment. Do you know what I mean? But I think it's going to look good. I think, again, that team that's out there in Texas of Frank Martin, Jamel Charlo, Errol Spence, it's a great team to be around. Yeah. And as they say, iron sharpens iron. So I think AJ is going to look good on Saturday. And then, for me, it's not about Saturday, it's about the summer. Because I expect him to get past Jermaine Franklin. In the summer is what I'm looking for. Is it going to be a big name? Are we going to get a Wilder, a Fury, a Hergovich, someone like that? Then we'll see how good Derek James is.
The thing is, there's been a lot of questions about AJ's game plan in his past few fights, but with Derek James in his stable, what do you expect AJ's game plan to be on Saturday night? Because there's talk of him just going in there and it's over before 6 rounds, but if you look at his last few fights, I know it was a different trainer, but do you reckon he's got that anger in him, like the killer instinct?
That's what we're hoping, and that's why he went out to Texas. That's why he's around, the guys I just mentioned, and Derek James is an aggressive trainer. All the guys I just mentioned are killers. Jamel Charlo, killer. Yeah. Errol Spence, killer. That's what all they think about is destruction. And hopefully a bit of that's rubbed off on AJ. And plus, look, we all saw him. He's at least half a stone bigger than he's ever been. So he's clearly built for destruction. He's clearly built to get this fight over and done with by the middle rounds. He's not wanting to go 12. Not at that size. He's fit enough to do it, but he wants to knock him out. He mentioned, didn't he, to Jermaine Franklin there, you're digging a bigger grave. Yeah. So he clearly knows what he wants to do to him. So I expect AJ to get the knockout. Again, I know we're saying he hasn't done it in his past few fights, but it has been Alexander Usyk. I mean, that's pound for pound number one right now. It ain't that easy to get rid of him. Everyone's tried and everyone's failed. So no shame in that. I do think we're going to see a better AJ though this Saturday.
Well, fingers crossed we do, but providing he gets over to Jermaine Franklin, I saw some quote on Twitter yesterday that he said that before he retires, he wants Fury, he wants Wilder, he wants Joyce. Who does Ade want to see him fight next?
Wilder.
Why? Why Wilder?
Because that's
the one. Same here, but why Wilder?
That's the one that the last sort of 6 or 7 years, when they were both unbeaten knockout artists, you always felt like, okay, who lands first? Yeah. And you always had that. And I like the idea of two former champions fighting against each other to almost get back to that championship status or championship fights. And it's a fight I want to see. And, I'm actually desperate to see the fight in Africa. Yeah. I've said this as well. I've called it Chaos in Lagos. Yeah. I've trademarked it. I've copyrighted it. It's a matchroom on the zone. They're gonna have to pay me. But I like the idea of seeing two guys open another market. It'll do crazy numbers out there. But it's a fight I've wanted to see for 4 or 5 years. I don't know if I want to see him in it with Fury immediately. But I like the idea of AJ fighting Wilder. If he wins, say AJ were to beat Wilder, then you're literally rubbing your hands together for Fury. So for me, that's the one I want to see. There's not long left. I think Wilder's 37, 30. He looks young, but he's 37. AJ's 33. So if it has to happen, it has to happen now. All the top guys are old. Joyce is mid-30s, Usyk's mid-30s, Fury's coming up to mid-30s. We've only got about a year, 18 months of them fighting each other before they're gone.
But you mentioned fights that we want to see. A fight that we've wanted to see and is happening, Tank versus Garcia, it's going to be massive. I heard you say before that you're going to be there. Yeah. How excited are you for that fight?
I'm stuttering. Yeah. That's how excited I am for that fight. Unfortunately, with boxing, a lot of the top fights take so long to make, so it kind of puts people off the sport. That's a top fight that's going to draw in people. But there's no way it's not going to draw in the casuals. It's a fight. I've been lucky enough to have gone Vegas for a few fights. Nothing beats a big Vegas fight. I'm not joking, nothing beats it. The casinos are packed to fight fans. Again, it's two different fan bases. You've got an African-American and Javante Davis that brings his own fan base. You've got a Mexican-American and Ryan Garcia, his own fan base. I'm telling you now, so far, and and hopefully it's not the biggest, but so far it's the biggest fight that can be made in boxing. I hope that gets beaten, because I hope Fury fights AJ or AJ fights Wilder, but that's enormous. It's enormous, and I can't wait to be out there for it.
But I feel like boxing's in a good place at the minute, because if you think about it, we've got the fight on Saturday, then we've got Tank Garcia, and then in the mix we've got Taylor Cameron, and then Taylor Serrano eventually, and just announced a few days ago we've got Devin Haney against Lomachenko. That's the fight I'm asking you about. How do you see it going? But boxing is healthy at the minute, in my opinion.
It's healthy. It's healthy. I've always said that, and I get it, because I've been that guy as well, that from a casual standpoint, I just look for the big names. But there are some good fights. I mean, like, even Joe Joyce, Yili Zhang, fighting at the Copper Box. You know what I mean? So there's Joe Cordina Rakimov in Cardiff, world title fight. There's loads leading up for the next sort of 3 or 4 months. I think it's in a good space. I think the thing that makes it difficult about boxing is that all these fights are on different broadcasts. Imagine it was just one broadcaster having all of this, all the fighters. But it's a good space right now. It's a good space. We just need to make sure that this stays like this. Because for us to miss out on the undisputed heavyweight title fight is an embarrassment. But we're in a good space.
But Haney Lomachenko, how does that go?
I'm a massive Loma fan. I've always have been. I mean, watching him was, for me, is the equivalent of watching Messi play football. He's a genius, but age doesn't wait for you. And he's a bit too old, maybe. The body's been through a lot. Where's his mind? What's going on in his country? Whereas Haney's big, he's fresh.
He's on the come up.
Yeah, exactly. He's on the come up. He's undisputed champ. He's walking into that ring with an extra 20%. I think Loma's going to cause him problems. But I think Haney will come through those problems just based off size. But I think it's a great fight. But I expect Haney to win just. And that hurts me to say that because I'm a big Loma fan. But I expect Haney to get the job done. He might even stop him late, you know. Haney might stop him late.
I wouldn't want to see that.
No, I'd throw the towel in myself. I'd grab the towel. But it's a great fight. But I think maybe Loma's maybe 2 years too late facing someone like a Haney.
The last question from me, I think I saw it in The Guardian where Robert Smith has come out and said, in terms of the Ben Eubank Jr. talks, that he wouldn't grant Eubank Jr. permission, I think, and because it would be a disgrace to boxing, that someone's tested positive, and then he's going to let a British Boxing Board of Control licensed fighter fight someone who's tested positive. What do you think of the whole situation? Because I feel like things are murky at the minute, because you've got Pacquiao's people begging for a fight. You've got Ben saying that he wants a big fight in 2 months. And like I say, the water's murky at the minute. What do you think to it?
It's a messy situation. I'm not quite sure what Robert Smith can do. Because Conor Ben doesn't, as we speak right now, have a British Boxing Board of Control license. So I'm not entirely sure what he can do. But it is messy. The idea of, I still think there's a big cloud, a grey cloud over the Conor Ben situation. But it's almost as though we're moving on like there isn't a cloud. So I think things still need to be resolved. I think even Conor would want them resolved. Because Conor wants the public on his side. He doesn't want to have this fight with Eubank or Kell Brook and people kind of sort of thumb down it. So there's a lot that needs to happen. I'm still not overly excited about those fights.
Me neither.
Eubank, we just saw get knocked out. Kell Brook's been retired for a couple of years since the Amir Khan fight.
Pacquiao's
100. Do you know what I mean? So for me, there's other 147 guys out there that you could be fighting. Hungry guys coming up. Mickelson. I get it. Mickelson isn't a draw, and I get it. He doesn't put the bums on seats, but sometimes it's all that. Conor Ben's the draw.
Exactly.
You know, so I'm not quite sure, man. It's a murky situation, and we'll see how it plays out. I like to use that word. You used that word, didn't you, murky? I'm copying you. It is a murky situation.
Copyrighted.
Thank you. Trademark the word, But hopefully it gets resolved in the next week or so.
Well, anyway, mate, thanks for your time, and take it easy.